In the 1890s, several Chicago real estate vendors publicized a new planned community, drawing on speculation that the stockyards would move. But all was not as it seemed. It all began in 1892 when the Chicago Tribune reported land schemes in which real estate vendors were selling land in one area but claiming it was somewhere else. One such scheme sold land smack dab in the middle of the Kankakee Swamp in southern Lake County, Indiana. They attracted buyers for what they called Chicago Park by hiring an artist to draw planned buildings and a contractor to write a prospectus. It turned out that these drawings were of buildings that already existed, and the prospectus showed the land in Hobart rather than the Kankakee. About 1 month later, a similar scam was reported in the Tribune. A woman named Hattie Burge was arrested for selling land under false pretenses. The land, noted as the Lakeshore Addition to the new stockyards, was described as being, quote, only a few minutes' ride from the center of Chicago. Hattie's accuser, Mr. Jacob Stark, answered her ad for a business deal and paid $100 for 2 lots that were actually located in Porter County, Indiana. When Stark went to check out his new property, he couldn't access it, as there were no roads or trails into the dunes in that area. Just 2 days later, Mr. J.L. Buckley went to a different police station in Chicago with a similar complaint against Hattie. He bought 11 lots for $300 and had the receipts and abstracts to prove it. He came to Indiana and asked locals for directions to his new property. They laughed and said he was about the 20th man to look for that same land. It seemed that the artist who drew the buildings for Chicago Park also drew those for the Lakeshore Addition to the new stockyards. The prospectus was also worded the same, according to the Chicago Tribune reports. Due to these discoveries, it's unclear whether the sellers were at the center of the scam or if it is the fault of the artist or contractor. It is also unknown if anyone other than Hattie was arrested. However, we do know that another man, a real estate broker, was involved. James Hogue, who reportedly went by the name of Orville Hogue as well, was identified by the Chicago Tribune as working with Hattie in this scheme. As Orville Hogue, this man registered the plat for the Lakeshore Addition to the new stockyards with the Porter County Recorder's Office. In 1892, the Dunes property was considered a loss and a terrible scam. If only these landowners had a little more foresight. Over the years, some of the property was abandoned and seized by the county or sold for taxes. Part of that property, however, is some of the most valuable land in Porter County today. It is part of what became known as Porter Beach. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for another video about Duneland ghost towns.